AITA for wanting my brother to receive consequences for his actions. TW. Brief mentions of SH and Una living. So I 25F have a brother 19M, we'll call him C, who has been taking advantage of my mom. For background, we have a dad who was a verbally and mentally hateful person to us for years. Our mom has taken over the parenting role for my brother after C and my dad got into a physical altercation and told C to unalive himself. Understandably, C has been distant from our dad and my mom almost divorced him shortly after, but dad made some major changes and they worked it out. I don't fully agree with that, but not my business. C has been super rude to mom since everything, even during the talk of divorce. So fast forward to last year, my mom was coming home from being with my dad in the state that he works, to take my brother's car away for reasons I will list in a minute, and me, my husband and my other brother went over to the house to greet my mom when she got there. When we went in the house, we found a few items that set off alarm bells. C was supposed to be doing school and working to pay his car payments, that my parents are co-owners of, but he hadn't been doing either. Instead, apparently he had been having a girl over and was doing things, as we could assume by the evidence, on my mom's couch. Also, my mom stated clearly that there were to be no girls in her house. There were some female clothing items and a pregnancy test that was found amongst other things. My brother and I took photo evidence and sent them to my mom. My mom was upset and told us to stand outside because C should be arriving around the same time as her. C arrived shortly after my mom, and by my mom's request I kept my mouth shut, because she knew I was upset at C for his actions. She asked C for his car keys and explained why she was taking them, and C refused and actually tried to leave, but my mom sat in the driver's seat so he couldn't leave. He decided to walk down the driveway with his GF that he had brought with him, and because I was worried about them walking to the highway, the only thing I said was, "Do not take that sweet girl out on the road, because it is a very dangerous road to walk on." My brother and my husband talked to my mom about what to do, and they decided to remove the battery from his car. The fallout was insane. After we had left, C texted me saying I could forget about a relationship with him, and he called me a C*******. By the way, C and our brother somehow got closer after this, even though it was my brother's idea to remove the battery. I only said the one thing. He ran away from home for about a month, and my dad said he could move back in. He had rigged his car by this point so that he could take it, on the condition C kept the house clean and he finished school and found a job. A few months ago, C reached out to me, and when we talked he said that what happened didn't matter and that he moved on. Didn't apologize or acknowledge what he said. Whatever. I went back to school and had to print out some documents, and my mom said I could use her printer, and my dad asked me to check the state of the house. No big deal, right? Wrong. When I got there, there was dog urine on the floating floor, which if you know flooring you know that you cannot let liquid sit on that flooring or there will be damage, and there was dog crap on the bed in the office that had my parents' wedding photos and other important documents on it. Yes, there was dog crap on those pictures and documents. I didn't say anything to C, and my husband told me not to say anything to my parents when they asked, because he didn't want a repeat of the year previous. It was eating me alive to not tell them that their floor at the minimum was being destroyed, because when they asked I had to lie and say the house was fine, which I absolutely hated, so I told them. My dad is livid and wants C to have consequences, but my mom only had a gentle conversation with C about it and made excuses for him, saying he has allergies and probably didn't smell it. C was fine, he was not having allergies. I should know, I've lived with him for years. Now we're supposed to be moving into the apartment that my parents built due to some unfortunate circumstances where we are now, but I don't want to be the one my parents go to see if the house is in shape if nothing is going to be done about his behavior. I have expressed to my mom for years now that C is taking advantage of her adversity to set consequences and that she needs to put her foot down. If not for herself, then for the house at least, because flooring is not cheap. She keeps saying that she struggles with putting her foot down because of how C reacts to getting in trouble, which varies from him ignoring people, etc. My other brother, who is now out of state for work, said that he finds it ridiculous that mom is coddling C and that he feels like mom has always favored C. I have to agree, since she's been telling me to forgive C for what he said and how he treated me at Christmas, and that he probably feels like a victim from what I said, which is insane. Whatever. I told her that it's her house that he is living in rent-free, and that if she can't, then she needs to at least let my husband say something, because he is very calm and my dad and I are a bit aggressive when we're upset. Me less than my dad, but it's still not productive and I am working on that. She and my dad both agreed that they don't want my husband to be involved, but I know when we move into the apartment they will get us involved in some way. Honestly, I could really use some advice here. Moving into the apartment is non-negotiable at this point, but I don't want to be involved anymore if nothing is going to be fixed. C needs to learn that life has consequences and mom isn't always going to be there to deal them. Also, please be a bit kinder to my mom, she's still finding her voice after 20 years with my dad. So AITA for wanting my brother to receive the consequences of his actions? Update. Thank you all for your comments, I really do appreciate the honesty. So my mom came home to see my graduation and get the house ready for family to come over on Thanksgiving, and we discovered that not only has C's dog made a mess of the floor and bed in the office, the dog had also tore up my mom's couch and urinated all over the 3 couches in the living room. My husband and I were over at her house helping her fix her porch, and she had asked me to smell the couches because she can't smell animal mess since she had COVID. When she realized she would have to replace the couches, she was talking about getting couches she didn't care about getting ruined. My husband and I told her that was a bad idea, because if she doesn't care about the couch then nothing is going to change, but if she does care about them then she's more likely to care about how they're treated. Today she and I went out and bought a new couch and love seat for guests to sit on. Before we left the house, she said that she would probably get couch covers to protect them from the dog. Honestly, this boiled me up inside and I'm sad to say that I got involved. I told her that it's not going to fix the problem and that she needs to say something, spare the rod spoil the child. Well, she snapped at me, can't believe she won't do that to C, but whatever, saying, OP. I am not going to go against what God told me to do. Your dad has already said the same thing, and after reading scripture he apologized to me for telling me to do something God has told me not to do. The Lord will fight for me and I have only to be silent. I didn't respond to that. Fast forward to when we paid for the couches, she said that she would move the couches to her room while she's away. I asked her about C sleeping in her room, as that's where he's been sleeping before she got home instead of his room, which I'm pretty sure is a disaster. She said that he would have to stay in his room and that she was going to tell him to clean. Like that's ever worked in the past 2 years. This woman literally came home and instead of making C clean the messes she cleaned them herself, and instead of making him pay for the damaged couches she paid $800 for new ones. Like, what kind of simulation am I living in? I'm kinda curious what Dad is going to say, if anything, when he gets home for Thanksgiving. It took 2 weeks to get the dog urine smell out of the floors and $800 to have furniture for my parents to sit on and enjoy when they come home. My mom wanting to hide them in her room so they don't get ruined is the most out-of-touch thing I've ever heard come out of her mouth. I'm done. I've finally hit my limit. If she wants to coddle C, then she can. I'm not saying another thing about this matter. I'll post another update if something meaningful happens. Thank you all again. Edit. Sorry I misspoke and caused a bit of a misunderstanding. I did not pay for anything nor did I clean anything. I was just merely a witness to everything. Edit 2. Y'all, my mom is not crazy. She's not hearing God audibly, she's just going off scripture that she's read that she believes is how she should handle the situation. Do I agree? No, but that's not my decision. I don't know God's plan in this. I talked to my dad and he agrees that I should step back for my own health. He is just as lost on what to do as me, but for him it's different because mom will leave him if he tries to set boundaries with C. My dad at this point is just trying to stay supportive of my mom and to let her handle this how she wants to.
Relevant comment. Environmental_art 591. I hate it to say it, but it sounds like your mother doesn't know how to function without someone abusing her. Your dad abused her for 20 years and then when threatened with divorce he made changes to improve, still dubious about that, and then your brother started with his parental abuse and your mother does nothing except turn to the Bible for excuse to let it happen. Did I get that right? It sounds like your mother needs some serious therapy, but I feel that she is so far gone that she will only twist what she learns in therapy to excuse her behavior. Your brother is never going to experience consequences from your mother and she will do her best to protect him from real-world consequences too. Because of this, your only real choice is to go LC with her and keep things tenant/landlord while living in their apartment.
OP. TBH, I think you're right. I had the same struggle for years. I used to date guys that shamed me like my father used to until I found my husband. It's a very real thing that when you've been abused you tend to attract others who will treat you that way. My dad, despite his struggles, has made a lot of changes. He's not aggressive anymore, meaning he doesn't fly off the handle with fury, and he's actually apologized for everything that he has said and done to me and my family. C, on the other hand, isn't explosive like our father was. He will ignore you and say hurtful things to you in such a calm way that it makes you believe he means what he says. At one point my husband and I had gone over to the house to work on something in the garage, and when C came out of the house, my husband, being the sweet guy that he is despite everything, asked him how he was doing and wanted to let C know that we love him. C responded with, "I don't give an F about y'all. I wish my mom would get into therapy like she had when she and dad were on the ropes. I just don't know if it would help at this point, because if she hears anything different to what God has shown her in scripture, she immediately shuts it down."